Let's talk. You may not know me, but allow me to introduce who I am to you. My name is Deborah Armstrong. I am the founder of Armstrong Empowerment Coaching. I'm a certified executive coach who helps women navigate their environments where they have been silenced, overlooked, and conditioned to shrink in spaces where they deserve to lead. I guide women back to their strengths that they had lost. At least they thought they lost them. They just refound them. But you know what? I didn't start as a company. I started because this was my calling. You know, my story begins as a child. I was always a curious child, always asking why. Yeah, I got in a lot of trouble for asking why a lot. And yeah, I was told that I talked too much. Yeah. But you know what? It didn't stop me because the questions that I were asking to me were meaningful. And I feel that they're still meaningful today. For example, I ask questions such as, why are women taught that they're not good enough? Why do we as women accept pay disparities and delayed advancement? Why do we begin to lose sight of who we are? As I grew and moved into my own career setting, these questions did not fade. They continued to become louder. This curiosity led me to a path of being compassion, working with other people that many would say are vulnerable populations. But I also learned that these women and these people all had power. It was just hidden on the inside of them. And many times it's because they weren't given permission to exert and use the power that they had within them. So, you know what I learned from working with different populations? I learned the value of listening. Just like I wanted to be listened to, I had to learn how to listen to other people. I had to hear their experiences, regardless of how painful they may have been for them and also for me. But I also learned the wisdom that they had as they struggled and went through the pain that they carried for many years. I found out that we as people are very vulnerable and we're also very realistic. We can withstand anything. Excuse my little stutter there. I tend to stutter at times. I also started thinking about my past. And one of the things that I noticed, or several things that I noticed, is that, there was times where I were overlooked for positions that I definitely qualified for. I was told that I wasn't what they were looking for. I also helped build other people's dreams. And as I did, I was praised as being a good employee, very professional, knowing what I was doing, a risk taker, and the list went on and on and on. However, when I decided to step out of that box and work for myself and build my own dream, those same people came to me and told me that I did not know what I was doing, that what I was pursuing at the time would not last beyond 3 years, and discouraging other people from pursuing my services. But yeah, I did get angry. I did shut down. I did become invisible, and I did grieve for many months. But then something inside of me stirred, which I call the Holy Spirit, and it urged me to conduct a self audit. I began by taking inventory of my strengths and the wisdom that I had learned, working for others and working for myself. These are some of the things that I learned about me. I learned that I wasn't showing up as I should have. I learned that I became that imposter syndrome. I needed to rebrand, who I am and how I serve, not only myself, but others. So the next step that I took, I became intentional in the changes that I made. And here are a few of those changes that I'd like to share with you all. I aligned myself with people who supported my purpose. I restructured my goals with vision and strategy. I reclaimed belief in my own strengths and my own passion and in me. I began speaking life over myself with affirmations on a frequent basis. I tapped into my creativity to identify the gaps that I was holding on to, as well as the gaps that the systems gave me. So, through all of that, I started a new platform. And today, I'm not just a coach, I am a life coach and an empowerment strategist. I help women see themselves again clearly, boldly, and without being apologetic. So you see, for me, I learned that being invisible is not just about others not seeing us, but it's about finally seeing yourself. So I'm going to invite you to join me to start seeing yourself for who you truly are. And I just want to say to all of you lovely people that are listening to me, I hope you are having a marvelous day. Thank you.